Hey guys, it's Chase, and we're here with Michael, laughing. All right, Starla,
Hey.
and Caitlin.
Hi.
All right, and Michael's just gonna be laughing the whole time. We don't have voices.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
He's giddy.
I know. See, now we have no energy for this one because we've been giggling like little girls for the past like 15 minutes. So this one's very dull and
it's Chase's fault.
yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, but basically, everyone feeling okay since the last
Yeah.
week. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Lots of movies.
Feeling
to be seen.
chuffed.
Feeling chuffed,
Yes.
fluffed, ready to roll.
Chuffed,
Chuffed,
fluffed,
fluffed,
and
ready
ready.
to
Chuffed
roll.
and fluffed.
Yeah, see, we need
That's
to get
a new
t-shirts
shirt.
made. That's our
Yeah.
team name. Like our team
Chuffed and
shirt.
fluffed.
Yeah, chuffed and fluffed.
Down on movies. Chuffed and fluffed.
That's like it's like Law and Order SVU or
View.
yes, VU. There's Law and Order and Law and Order SVU. So this is our branch of Down on Movies. But this week we'll be talking about the movies. We're almost to the halfway point. We're a couple
Yeah.
weeks from June, and that's obviously the 6th month before the
Yeah.
halfway point of movies. So we're gonna talk about the movies we've seen up until now. So
Yeah.
up to this point. If you follow me on the other pages and stuff like that, you'll see that I try to do good at posting the stuff we have seen. That we kind of keep an eye already. But this is us going to be going down the list of the movies we saw. And just give our thoughts of what we thought of them.
That's right.
So, yeah. Anything anyone wants to say? We feeling good?
Feeling good. Ready.
Yep. Do it.
We're focused.
See, one day we will have a video for our podcast because I think the fear in all of our eyes just says it all. All right, so we'll go ahead and start off. Starla gave me kind of a list last time y'all were here of
Yes.
the ones that are kind of in order. So,
Because I'm anal retentive enough to keep a list.
yeah. Groceries. All right, we got milk. Okay, we're good. All right. Yeah. Okay, so the first one we're going to be talking about is The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah.
All right. Jeez. So I guess we'll just kind of we don't have to really take turns. Just say
Yeah,
we'll all give our
just kinda-
2 cents of what we thought was good about it. Maybe what we thought it was about, what could be fixed, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of just talk about it.
I think, and you brought it up, the most obvious thing
Yeah.
is CG.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
more effort into it.
yeah. The CG man, it's no good. It's no
They
bueno.
just Control C, Control.
Yeah,
just
copy paste. It's like, okay, green screen, what can we
Yeah.
put there? It's like they could have just put like a dancing kitten in the background and it
Yeah.
would have been like the same movie. I know, I don't know. Yeah, CGI is the elephant in the room. It's the guy beating his wife. It's that thing you don't want to acknowledge. It's happening, but you don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know about
Hopefully
that.
you do want to acknowledge
well, all right, everyone. But you know what I
Dang.
mean. It's the awkward turtle.
Yes. Yes. And they really, I mean, like we've talked about, they didn't have to.
They didn't have
And
to.
they-
I know. He's
New
done
Zealand
it,
is still
He's
there.
done it once already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
times technically.
And
You know,
he's got the money.
Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually, if
it's-
you've got crappy CG, it's because you don't have the money or time, right?
Yeah.
He had the money and time. I don't know what was going on.
yeah,
He just
that
didn't care.
that was probably the biggest baddie of all the Hobbits. But this one in general, like the main thing, honestly, and this one actually looked to me, for someone who's been bitching about the Hobbit, how it's looked for the past 3 years, I think this one looked the best, except for when that damn CGI fat elf went down there, the dwarf or whatever, rode down on his pig. And I'm just thinking, like, you couldn't find a fat guy to put on a fake beard like you did a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Well, and I didn't
Even the guy
like.
that looks like Hagrid in Harry Potter isn't that tall and doesn't look like that.
I didn't like Homeboy when he's in there and he's all possessed by the gold,
Oh yeah.
and it just looked like a big gold
Waste.
wave all around
Just
him. I don't.
look like
Yeah.
was it Scrooge McDuck
Yeah.
diving in his sea of gold?
He
Yeah.
had like 30 minutes, pouting, and then all of a sudden he's fine.
Yeah, like they could have given it a better send off, I think, with him because it possessed him. It was the dragon's rage or whatever it was. Like,
Something like
yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was a neat concept for the fact that he's so possessed by it.
But it
But
didn't go
It
anywhere.
didn't go anywhere. I mean they were just like, come on, man, come on.
Oh.
And
It-
then-
it
come
really
on.
should have been.
that. You do it.
It should have been 2 movies.
It should have.
They should have trimmed the fat.
They could have made
2 movies that were high and tight.
Yeah.
And it would have been fine.
I really think we would all have differences
Yeah.
of opinion of if the movies were 2 good movies instead of
Yeah.
3.
And
Mediocre.
yeah.
Because I'll own them for the fact that I'm a fan of the world. I'm a fan of the characters. I think just
Yeah.
it was just kind of there.
Yeah.
It was executed poorly with visuals at least the visuals.
Yeah.
And I'll even look at it because like I heard from a lot of people once the 3rd one came out on DVD and stuff. If you watch them in a row, it's a lot better because you're watching them in like this in the actual order. It's not like
Yeah.
one movie where nothing's happening and the second one where
Yeah.
nothing's happening and then something happens and then a movie where everything's happening. It's like If you watch it all in a row, then it makes more sense in the fact that it's just one continuation.
Yeah.
And then really the only thing you have to worry about is how it looks, you know?
Yeah.
Because at least the story makes sense. Because like in the third one, everyone's like, well, it just went straight to battle. Well, that's how the last one ended. Of course it's going to go straight to battle. Like
Yeah.
the last one ended with Smaug about to tear shit up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so they're going to pick up.
They're gonna pick up where that left
doesn't
off.
bother me.
Yeah, that never bothered me.
yeah.
You know, I just feel like with the CG and that
Spend
type of
all your
stuff, it was distracting from a really good cast
Yeah.
and a good story. I just was focused on what didn't
Yeah.
look
Spend
right.
But with this
Yeah.
one,
Spend your
but
CG on
yeah.
something you can't create. Like
Exactly.
Dragon. Spend all the money on that, and then make everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't expect you to find a dragon.
yeah. And I went into this one already knowing I wasn't going to like how it looked. So I was able to pay attention.
You had been a negative Nancy from the first one
Yeah,
on.
yeah, you know, and I think so. Going into this one, I could look at other stuff, and I actually enjoyed this one better. I don't know if it's because it was the darker one or if it was the the final thing going on,
Yeah.
but I think I enjoyed
It's
this one a
finally
lot.
over.
Yeah, yeah. As sad as that sounds, because with the Hobbit or with the Lord of the Rings, you couldn't wait for the next one. You couldn't wait
Yeah.
for the next one. Like because you're waiting
Yeah,
3 years or whatever to get the last
poor
one.
Hobbit.
And Hobbit just it sucks because it was just it was the microwave pizza to delivery.
Yeah.
Because it's like you like both, but the delivery's fresher and better, and this one came after.
Is
So-
this one out already?
Yeah, we bought it.
Oh, okay.
They're done now. We own all 6
didn't know-
movies, and we're done
I didn't realize it
until
came
they do
out.
something
Yeah.
until they do 3 movies about
That's a
Gollum.
lot.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everyone loves Gollum. Let's do 3 movies.
We own
over
it,
3
and I
years.
didn't know that. We haven't watched it yet, as you
Yeah, I
can
know.
tell.
Yeah.
No, we'll have a Hobbit. We'll have a Lord of the Rings Hobbit week, and just
Oh,
we'll watch
the
it.
Week?
That's
Oh
a
my
month.
gosh.
God.
Yeah, well, I was like, we'll watch them in the order. So to go, the
I'm
Hobbit,
sorry,
we'll watch them in the
Caitlin.
order. it's supposed to.
Yeah.
If
But
you-
to be fair, if you did it in that order, if you go from the first one, like the Hobbit one on, it would get better. You know what I mean? It would gradually
Well,
get
that's
better.
the same thing with Star Wars.
True.
If you
Yeah.
start with episode 1,
Yeah, I watched
and
this
keep
thing.
going,
Yeah, I
it
watched
gets
this thing where
better.
they're talking about like
Yeah.
what would be your order. You know what I mean? Like if you had to show, like if you had a kid and you had to show them the movies, you had to show them all 6. What would be your order?
The
Yeah.
Star Wars movies?
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like it didn't.
Well,
Like
I mean,
it didn't have. It could be in the chronological order, or it could be like
if you show them in like episode 1 through 6, you're gonna miss out on the big reveal, in Empire.
yeah.
So like
That's
So
true.
would you do? And you
I
can
would
go
show
like so
them-
you can do 4, 5, 2, 3, 1, 6, or I mean you could do it like in any way you want. Like
I would do it like how I saw it.
Just-
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
That's what my
Yeah.
dad did with us.
Or
'Cause
is it
we'd seen
22?
after they had all. Well, I don't know. What year did the third one come out?
Jedi?
The last one.
Oh, the
What-
last one.
I can't remember what it's called.
Revenge of the Sith was
Yeah,
episode 3.
Revenge of the Sith.
That
What-
one was 2002 or 3, I think.
Was it?
2003.
Okay.
The
It was
first one was
2003.
99,
It was either-
and then 3
See,
years
that-
after that.
Yeah, was it 2 or 3 years? I don't know.
The second one came out in
I have to
2000.
look it up.
Second one came out in 2002. Third one came out in 2003.
Okay. It was like right before or after that we finally watched them all, and my dad had us watch them 4, 5, 6 and 1, 2, 3
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's
So
how he did
so
I
it.
think that's the right way to do it.
It was a couple months or a few months before Aiden was born.
Yeah.
Because y'all were in Fredericksburg. We saw it when y'all were visiting. That's what
Uh-huh.
I remember.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so Hobbit, we can all agree, could have been better.
Yeah.
Was kind of there.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
own it.
Well-
It's just it's there.
Yeah. We don't own it, but
We do
No,
own
you
it.
own
we own it.
I remember
Yeah.
because
Well, there you
y'all
go.
were like, we bought it. Like
Same
But I can plead Martin Freeman. That's why I.
true. And Martin Freeman did a
Yeah.
good Bilbo.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
And yeah, it was the Hobbit, and he wasn't really the main person at all. He
Yeah.
was kind of there. And in
Yeah.
the animated one, it was more about Bilbo's journey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this one was about the dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dwarves pouting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're gonna get our gold. All right, so next on, so we'll try to keep this short and sweet since we got like 25 movies here.
No.
But, okay, so next on my list, American Sniper.
Yeah.
Yes.
That actually came out on Blu-ray today, and Caitlin and I bought the
Right.
steelbook from Target. Woo woo! Yay yay! So yeah, thoughts on that movie?
I loved it.
It was great.
It was great.
I liked it.
Charlotte didn't want to be the odd one. Yeah.
Pause.
I did like it. I did.
Yeah.
Those type of movies aren't normally my bag, but I did enjoy it. It was
Yeah.
good.
And I went into this one also going, okay, I know it's a true story, but I'm going there to watch the movie. I don't want to. It's a very sad thing, everything that happened with him. But I think
Yeah.
if I go into it going, well, this is what happened. This is what happened. It's going to
Yeah.
take away from
Yeah,
it.
I know the whole scene where he's got that rival sniper. That was like a paragraph or something.
Yeah.
In his book, so they embellished that quite a
Yeah,
bit. But
because it's you're
it's
going
a
in there
movie.
watching the
Yeah,
movie and
yeah.
It's a movie. It's gonna have some kind of.
yeah, and I will say with this one, and we don't have to stay long on Midsniper, but the one thing I would change is that damn baby.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that damn baby.
The fake baby.
It's
I heard
because
that there were like two that were on there, and one of them got sick, and the other one didn't show up, so he didn't want to wait Eastwood, so he's just like, just give me the fake one.
but
That's
what's
what I
funny
read.
what's funny
The
is
problem is it's so obviously
It's so
a
obvious.
fake baby.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Babies move.
It
Yeah.
takes
I
you
don't
out of
care
the
how
whole-
it takes
much
you
you
yeah,
wrap
it takes
them
you
up.
out of it. It
Yeah.
takes you
Like,
out of it.
I'm watching a movie.
But
That's bad.
what's funny is it's like, can you imagine if I were sitting on the floor and going, you know what, find me a fake baby. I could find a real one faster. So how quick could he have to? You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
how fast did they find him a fake baby?
Nobody
You can
had a
find
baby?
because for this one you just
It's
need
not
a
like
baby.
the baby had to memorize lines.
You
Yeah.
can go to the store and buy a baby, but you can't see a lady with a baby and be like, "Hey, want to be in our movie?"
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll pay you
Like,
$1,000 for your baby to be in this
Let
movie.
Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper hold your baby.
Yeah.
You want to sign my baby?
Yeah, sign that baby.
It's only for a second,
So-
so they could
Yeah.
have done it.
American Sniper
Yeah.
could have been a perfect movie had it not been for that baby.
I really enjoyed it, and I liked the way it ended. Just
Yeah.
everything
With
at the end.
The parade, or
Yeah.
parades.
Like the
Yeah, like
talking about his real life.
Yeah, like showing the real life
Yeah.
stuff in
Yeah.
the memorial, and
Yeah.
I really liked that. I thought that was like
That was
the
neat.
movie, the best movie I've ever seen, leaving a lasting impression at the end. Because most
Yeah.
people just get up for a movie and they're like, "All right, let's go home. What's for
Yeah.
dinner?" You know,
Yeah.
but this one,
Let's get
it
on
just
for dinner.
everyone in the theater was like completely silent. I've never been in a movie where it was just like had so much impact on
Yeah.
people. I
It
thought that
ended and it's
was
just
really
like-
cool.
Yeah, 'cause
I liked
think they
that.
started it, and then while they were doing it, I think he was murdered.
Yeah.
So they had to add that on.
Yeah, because Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper
He
was talking about how he talked to
talked
him
like one
in
of
real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And it happened just right down the street from us, so
Yeah.
all that stuff was just right down here.
It's
Or like his
crazy.
funeral and stuff was all here.
Yeah.
So.
Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, and we're right down the street. All right, so American Sniper, there you go. So next,
Great but fake baby.
great but fake baby. Yeah. So next, It Follows.
Ah.
It follows. I have
This
so
is
much.
Starla's baby.
This is Starla-
I'm in
yeah.
love.
I have so much
It was
love
great.
for this
It was great, but
movie.
for that damn baby.
Fake baby.
I'm so in love with this movie. The look of it,
Yeah,
the
the
cast,
music.
the
Yeah.
music,
It's awesome.
the story.
You saw it, what, 3 times?
We saw it 3 times.
Well, yeah, y'all saw it 3 times. We saw it once. We'll watch it again when it comes out. But
I just am in love with it. I'm in love.
she
with
wanted
it.
to have a fake baby with it.
Yes. It's the best scary movie in a long time.
Yeah.
No, it's a
And-
good. It's a nice
and it's
suspenseful
a good,
thriller.
It's a good
Yeah.
metaphor.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
living with
Yeah, it's a smart way to add a
disease.
new
Yeah.
a message into it without
Yeah.
it being like
I-
obvious.
Without it being preachy.
The issue I had with it was like the people that they made just look really gross that were coming
Yeah.
after them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand that like the concept of it, but they need to be scary. To me, they need to be scarier and not so much gross because it didn't scare me
Yeah.
at that part. It just made me like, ew, why did they make
Yeah.
them look like that?
Oh man.
I
It was
think
just
just
kind of
I
nasty.
think just the idea, it doesn't matter what they look like, just the fact that something is constantly after you. And
Yeah.
You can never relax. You can never
Yeah.
let your
They
guard
just
down.
show
That-
up.
that-
And you
that's
can go
terrifying.
as far as you want. And I will say the one thing I thought was kind of neat was if you ran,
Yeah.
it was like real time for them to have to
Yeah.
catch up to you. It wasn't
Yeah.
like they're right
Yeah.
there. Because like no matter how far they went from Michael Myers, the next
no,
day he's right there.
Yeah.
So I
He
think
just
with this
shows
one, I
us.
thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah,
the
I
fact
did
that
like that.
They could just go away,
Yeah,
and they
it's
know they
simple.
bought a few days at least to give them
Yeah.
some bearings. You know.
Simple rules, but the movie stuck
Yeah.
with them. You know?
And just
Yeah.
you're just gonna have to run forever. You know, just
Yeah.
live with it and run forever.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
if you get desperate, then
I think
pass
part
on.
of why they looked more normal, other than some of them being very naked and that
Yeah.
kind of thing,
If you're talking about the
is-
weenie being out, then I
is I guess to catch people off guard. So
Yeah.
at first you don't know
Like the
old
lady
woman,
Yeah.
old lady.
with the gown.
if they're headed towards you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean
It's pretty weird.
it was different. It was very different for
Yeah.
scary movies.
Yeah, no, and it was good.
And-
It was a nice
Yeah.
It was a refreshing.
Yeah.
Because we went into this going, we kind of get the gist, and we were able
Yeah.
just to sit back, enjoy it, and actually come out liking it. Because
Yeah.
I think if you go in
Yeah.
there with Poltergeist, that's getting ready to come out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that we talked about. We won't get into that one, but with
Yeah.
Poltergeist, you know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what it's.
Oh,
gonna
you know all too well what it's gonna
yeah,
be.
you know what it's gonna be.
It's been done.
And yeah,
Jeez.
and so when It Follows, and I know some of it could be recycled. things. But like when It Follows, it was nice going into something you kind of was like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, let's see something.
It's kind of
different.
like the first time you see Blair Witch, or
Yeah.
the first time you saw Saw. I
Paranormal
mean,
Activity.
Yeah.
Like that.
it's like, oh wow, this is something different.
yeah, something different.
And when you're weird like me and you've seen so many scary movies, it gets very difficult to not go, oh yeah, I saw that and such
well,
and
plus
such.
now,
Yeah.
well, like as a horror fan, it's like now it's getting harder because now you don't go into scary movies to come out scared anymore. You kind
Yeah.
of go into it just to be entertained.
Yeah.
There's movies that because even with me, it's sad, but it's like with horror movies, you kind of know what to expect, so they don't scare you as much. And like Michael was talking about jump scares, that stuff because it catches you off guard and it's loud.
So everybody gets
everybody's
scared at that moment.
But then you get the one.
ready.
But if you take the jump scares out of it and you give it more suspense,
Right.
and even It Follows had a
that's
couple
cool.
jump scares. It was like when she's
Yeah.
looking at herself in the bathroom and a ball hits the
Yeah.
window. It's
Right.
like that didn't need to be there, but it was
Yeah.
something to kind of give you a jolt.
keep you on the edge.
Yeah, because it was already a suspenseful movie, but they wanted to give you that extra little like shot of adrenaline in your
Yeah.
heart. So I can understand, but it's that overplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
everything's a jump scare.
If you don't need a jump scare in every movie you watch, then you're good. So yeah, It Follows.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all agree is good.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe a little bit scary when it comes to the look, but
Yeah.
overall it was a good.
very-
It was a very
very
good.
creepy.
Yeah. Okay, so since we're staying on that theme, next is Unfriended.
Very surprised by how much I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better.
Yeah.
Than, I think,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that long. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was
pretty
quick, but
It was
it was very good.
The cool thing I read about it was they filmed it on their house. Everybody was in their own little room, and
That's
the
cool.
whole movie was in real time. They started it and just filmed the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's
You
like
just
the
do one
longest-
take.
Yeah, I think there's some Russian documentary that's all in one take. But yeah, this is like
That's awesome.
They treated it like a play.
Yeah.
You learn a play, you do the play all the way
over
through.
again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So-
No, and it was good. I
It
think
was really good.
had the creepiness to it. I think it
Yeah.
had a neat concept. It was
Yeah.
we're basically looking at a computer screen the entire movie, so I
Yeah.
think that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I
And
thought
they
that
did
would,
it
I thought
well.
that would bug me.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
too.
I thought that would bug me.
how's
That
this
I'm
gonna
just
be
looking at
entertaining?
and it had enough
Yeah.
suspense to it. You're like, who the hell's messing with you? Like, is
Right.
it somebody
Yeah.
messing with? And just like the quick deaths on people too. We're kind of just
yeah.
like,
When that
you
girl
get
was
just enough.
frozen, staring at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I kept waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought the screen was frozen.
Yeah.
And then her phone started moving. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our
Yeah.
girl from Secret Life, American Teenager, she was the one
Gory
that got the
without
thing down
being
her throat.
gory, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah.
And it's like them going back and forth. You see this clock timing down. It's like, what did he say? What did he say? It's like, I
Right.
can't tell you, God. And then
Yeah.
you show him, and then the guy,
Yeah.
say,
So-
yeah, that one.
it's-
That one bugged me a little bit more than It Follows. I think because that one also had a real feel to it. I think they both had this like.
We felt like, having seen both of them with you guys, that y'all probably enjoyed Unfriended more.
Yeah, and not by much. I enjoyed them both a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Unfriended, it felt, I don't know, it made me more nervous. It made me
Yeah.
more nervous. I think
Yeah.
because with It Follows, I think, it was
You
it
feel
made
a
me
little
nervous.
safe,
Yeah.
like they can't get
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that one, you're like,
And this
you
one
have
they
no
can't
idea
get
what
away.
it
This one they
is.
can't
Yeah.
get away from it. You don't know what it's gonna do, and it's just like
Yeah.
this weird.
And it's
And
more
I've told you
of
guys
a-
before, like paranormal stuff, ooks me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because
a
it's like
spiritual kind of,
just
I don't know,
you know.
supernatural.
Because
thing
like if I
going
was
on.
home alone and just shit started messing around, it would destroy me. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Or if I was on the computer and someone started talking to me, it's like if you leave, you will die, or that
Yeah.
kind of thing would mess me up
It
a little bit
messes
more.
with you,
It
yeah.
messes with me a little bit more.
Yeah, I can
Um,
see that.
So yeah, Unfriended.
We enjoyed. I mean,
Anything
both
you
of
would,
them were
anything
great.
you would like to see
great.
different in Unfriended? Anything different? Would you keep it how it was, or would you change something, or?
I keep it how it was.
Keep
I
it how it was?
really, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I will say I did like it being a little bit shorter of a movie. Because movies feel a lot of problem with movies. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I can't
Yeah.
keep an attention span. I just mean like.
He's like a toddler.
I know, squirrel. No, but like I think with a movie like Unfriended, it couldn't be like a 2-hour movie or even 10 minutes. Let's like 10 minutes even could have changed the entire movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could have been.
It gets to the point.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and that format is basically, meant to get to the point. They're doing everything digital. It's
Yeah.
texting. It's Skyping. It's meant to just get to the point. That's
Get to
what
the
you
point.
do when
That's
you're
what
talking
yeah,
to friends.
exactly. When
Yeah.
you use all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's what it's for. All right. So yeah, Unfriended. Next is Ex Machina.
Yes.
Thoughts on Ex Machina?
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that it turned out to be darker than I
Yeah.
thought it would.
Yeah.
I've got a real problem with uplifting things. So.
They were also showing a shorter version of the trailer on TV as a commercial, and it didn't give away anything.
Yeah,
it barely showed anything.
Yeah.
You can't tell that there's any darkness in there.
Yeah.
It's just all this random stuff happening, and you can't tell what's what.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of that's the promoting.
It was they did a good job of keeping mystery to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the one we saw, like the actual trailer in the theater, was, it kept mystery into it, but you got to kind of get a gist of the thing. But the one she's talking about was probably like 10 seconds, and it just showed like her kind of, and it showed the two main guys, and then it showed her running towards the bearded guy. Yeah. So it's like that's all kind of you get. So you're like,
who's she running after?
Yeah, what is going on?
Even in the full-length trailer, you still can't tell.
Yeah, so you're like, what's going on?
So
but no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I thought it was, a little bit creepy, a little bit had a good mystery, and it was a good thriller in the fact you really don't know if she's doing something, or if he's doing something, or if the dude who's there is doing something. I mean, you don't know. Yeah. I will say the one complaint was the guy. It's not a big deal, but the guy that went to the island or whatever, he seemed a lot smarter than he ended up being. When he first got there, seemed like he got a gist of what's going on. He could tell the difference between artificial intelligence and this, and part of it, I guess, could be the whims of a dude. You get tricked by female, but
ultimately,
he seemed a lot smarter.
He's a guy.
How smart you
but he just seems smarter than that, and it just
bats your eyes, and then.
For the fact,
But that's the thing. He's so smart.
Right.
But
and still,
what's smarter?
And still got played.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend Ex Machina.
Yeah, it was really good.
All right, so next is Age of Ultron. I don't need to say a whole lot more. I talked about it the last podcast.
I liked it, but
I would have liked it a lot more had I seen it about 4 Marvel movies ago.
I would have liked it a lot more had I seen it probably before Ex Machina, because that kind of, I was like, oh, this is a really good science fiction movie about AI.
I didn't even think about that. You get 2 artificial intelligence movies.
Yeah. Ultron. I was like, I was disappointed.
I was disappointed with him. But the movie itself, it was okay, and I liked how they kind of showed a little bit like into Hawkeye's life. I really liked that, because there's not enough story to some of them. It's I like more story.
Make you care about him more.
Yeah, and I will say
they need to build the character.
Yeah, because they spent separate movies making you feel for Captain or for Thor or for anyone else, and so this was their one to kind of give Hawkeye some love. Yeah. I will say, after thinking about it, after kind of complaining a lot about the last one, I think the only thing I would change was take out a little bit of comedy and make Ultron a little darker.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I liked Ultron when he first showed up.
Yeah.
When he was very rough and
yeah,
sarcastic and dark and broken
yeah.
down, and then he gets all shiny and new.
And then he's cracking jokes and blowing his ass.
Yeah.
And he's slapstick.
Yeah, he's not very... And even Loki. Loki was a good kind of darker villain, and he was still able to wisecrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's, the god of mischief, so... I expect it from him, and I get the whole thing that Tony Stark's his daddy, and that's why
he has his
like
humor.
That, but he's also supposed to be angry. Yeah. He's supposed to be angry. And the Pinocchio song was great the first go round. But now every time I see you, you're singing it like you can't get it out of your head. It's just like a song in the shower. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
The first go round when you're creepy, I liked it. But then now you're flying a ship and you're just singing it and talking about how it's catchy. Okay. What's going on right now?
And so I think that would be my biggest thing. Because other than that, again,
everything
I liked it.
Else, yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm going to own it.
As long as it was, it probably would have served it better if it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, well, and Joss Whedon said if it was up to him, he'd made the movie 3 hours. Or 3.5 hours.
But
Marvel's like, that's too long. We want this in it. Cut this out.
The
put
CG
this in it, cut
could
this
have
out.
been a little better.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Just in little places.
Yeah, and no, I'm not like sighing because you're wrong. I just mean like the beginning stuff didn't bug me. I think Ultron did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultron bugged me the most.
The problem is, and
With
we
the
all
look
know it, the first Avengers was superior. Captain America Winter Soldier was superior.
Well, it's because
Guardians of the Galaxy was superior. The problem is so many great ones.
Because Marvel fans are getting, I'm not saying they were ever stupid, but they're getting smarter in the fact that we're not satisfied with CGI anymore.
Yeah.
We need some practical. Because we want...
And they did a really great job mixing the two.
Yeah.
Especially in Winter Soldier and Guardians.
Yeah, because they used it when they needed to.
Right.
We all accepted Hulk being CGI.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't do him.
And I think there were scenes in the first Avengers where their fights were CGI. I think maybe my thing maybe is because it was brighter environment.
Yeah,
you know, because it's harder
to tell more.
Because like when they're fighting in New York and stuff, clearly that's not them.
Yeah.
Them, you know. So I don't know if maybe it's because it was in a bright New York City, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Because things just felt different, and things felt rushed. Ultron was just kind of a bust, and I think there was too much comedy. Yeah. So, but overall, I liked it. It was good.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm not sitting here saying it wasn't bad. You know, I just think it could have been better. And I think they just hyped it too much. And I don't know if our expectations was too much. Because...
I think so. I think so. And it's expectations that they set.
Yeah.
You know, not even comparing it to other movies, but to Marvel itself. Mm-hmm. They've just really, every movie has kind of improved upon the last one before it. Mm-hmm. And it's been like, oh God, these movies are getting really great. Like, even a non-Marvel person could walk in and enjoy it.
And I will say, too, one thing with me is what takes me out of the movie is knowing no one's gonna die. You know what I mean?
I thought that was the dark one here.
No, but I'm saying, like, we sat there for almost 3 hours, and I knew no one that we cared about was gonna die. And I'm not saying I need someone to die, but it's before Ultron even months ago, they announced Phase 4.
So maybe they shouldn't have announced.
They announced.
What's going
they
on.
announced Ant-Man. You know, Thor 3, Captain 3. All those,
Iron Man are gonna be in Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay,
so they're not gonna be bad.
You don't worry
Thor's gonna be good.
So maybe what they should have done is only announce what's coming up next after something's already in production.
Let Ultron come out.
Yeah. Let it come out and then say.
Because even Civil War didn't start production until like last week.
Yeah.
So it's not like they could have waited. Mm-hmm. And Ant-Man's already about to come out. We knew that.
Yeah, we don't care about that stuff.
Marvel, we don't need to know your business model.
Yeah.
We're not funding this.
Because back in the day, you know, even with me, or like us even, or, you know, the 90s.
Yeah.
They didn't announce that much shit all the way.
No,
it was
you
a
never
surprise.
knew what was coming out.
You saw a trailer and you're like,
that's coming
and
up.
And now it's like 10 years. Yeah, we're going to have Avengers 5 in 10 years, y'all. Well, shit, I don't care. I want to win.
It's like when you hear about anything, like, oh, they're making an Incredibles 2, and you heard that like 7 years ago, and it's just now about to come out.
Yeah, and you're like...
And you can find the script and everything that's going to happen.
Yeah, and so I just think with me, it just took me out a little bit, because the whole time, and this is very shitty, but the whole time I'm thinking, I hope Hawkeye dies. Because at least somebody who was important dies. Because he's the only expendable one.
They set you up for that feeling.
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. Because they knew that's what people were thinking.
Yeah.
And so now people are pissed about Quicksilver, spoiler alert. But people are worried about Quicksilver, but it's like...
Speaking of Marvel spoiling things.
But it's like, who could they have killed? Yeah. If not Quicksilver, who could they have killed? They killed Nick Fury twice, and then that's it too. They bring people back. You know, Nick Fury died twice. Or died.
I just wish they'd keep his eye patch dead.
Agent Coulson, for God's sakes.
Well, no, did you read about that? Weldon said that he's not connecting his movies with that TV show. So as far as he's concerned, Agent Coulson's dead.
Well, why have the show? Because Joss Whedon created the show. Because basically, but he's lying then. He's lying because he connected Thor: The Dark World with that show. Mm-hmm. Because in one of the episodes right after Thor: The Dark World came out on a Tuesday, that episode was on a Wednesday, and it's them cleaning up what Thor did over in overseas.
Yep.
So he's lying. He just lied because they did connect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, with the way they've been treating Black Widow on the merchandise, they should have killed her.
Yeah,
she's nowhere.
Her merchandise is the old shit they came out with.
It's very sad. It's very sad because what do little girls do?
Marvel didn't know how to handle women. That's why they're freaking out about Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. That's the only woman movie that they have had and will have.
And what's sad is this is how you handle women. You put the action figures out there. If little girls have seen the movies and want those, or if little boys want the full set so that they can play like it's happening in the movie, let them.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's confusing for them.
They know how to do it.
Back when Star Wars was released, all the female characters were there, and little boys bought all the female characters with all the others.
And Black Widow's there. She just doesn't get anything
in spirit.
New. She doesn't get anything new.
They edited her off of her own vehicle. on one of the merchandise things. Her vehicle's there, she is not.
That's funny.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's what?
Maybe they were pissed at her for getting pregnant. As stupid as that sounds, maybe.
Because
they're probably like, we don't want you to do this or this or this because we own you for these 4 movies. And then she got pregnant. They already had to digitalize her for half the damn movie.
Hey, she still made the movie. So
I know. It's you know how they.
It's frustrating though because I think they treat kids like they're stupid. When you're a kid, you're not as focused on, well, I'm a boy, so I only need boys in this set. No, you're like, okay, I love the Avengers. I want all the Avengers.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. I want all the characters. That includes Princess Leia. You want everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though, we were at Target today and we saw the wrestling action figures.
Uh-huh.
They had Paige, right, and it came with her the Divas Championships like that. And I was thinking to myself, like, they don't put out a lot of the girls.
See,
the Bellas. I don't even see the Bellas, and they're the most popular tag team.
I think that's the only one I've seen. I think I saw Naomi.
Because like a long time ago, when I was a kid, they came out with like Lita and Trish.
Yeah.
Because there was more.
And you had all of them because you liked wrestling. Yeah. It wasn't. Oh well, that's a girl toy. No, I like wrestling.
Because I like wrestling. And plus I was so into it, I created my own pay-per-views and did all that stuff, and I
think lots of kids do that. Lots of kids. It used to annoy me when I was into. My Little Ponies, that they didn't have any specific boy ponies.
Yeah.
I'm like, we've got all these kids and no boys? What's going on here?
And I mean,
you wanted to set up families.
I mean, ultimately, Marvel will figure it out. I think maybe if Captain Marvel does good, but I just don't want them to...
How many female-based movies have to do good before people go, okay, females are allowed now?
Here's the thing, though. The last one Marvel attempted was Elektra.
Okay, but if the movie sucked.
Yeah,
it could have been anybody.
So no, I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying, like, Marvel's, they tried it. They were like, oh, it didn't work. And so then the next attempt was Black Widow and Iron Man 2. And even then, that wasn't her own movie, but they were like, let's put her out there. Because we need people to like her or know who she is for Avengers.
Yeah. And I think people would buy, they'd be excited about her being included.
Yeah. No, and lots of people, a lot of fans.
Or Scarlet Witch.
A lot of fans want her to have her own movie. So I don't know.
She proved she could do that type of movie with Lucy.
Did you see the Japanese poster of Ultron? They give away the whole Hawkeye having a family thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Sport? What big sport?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. We're moving on. Yeah.
We've griped our way through that.
One. Yeah. 9 hours later. All right. So Age of Ultron. Everyone feels the same about that. Yeah. Next, Maggie.
Maggie was great.
Really enjoyed Maggie.
Yeah. I like Maggie. I think a lot of people were kind of like. Didn't know what Maggie was going to be. Yeah. I think they thought it was going to be Arnold going crazy and fighting some zombies and nada. Yeah, and they just like, they didn't
He just wanted to do it.
I just wanted to do it. I had to do it.
It's alright.
But they got the toned down Arnold where he's talking a little softer.
He's playing a dad. Not like Commando Dad, but like...
Yeah. Well, nobody wants a Commando Dad.
No, you want Commando Dad. You don't want a guy going Commando.
Oh, my bad,
Okay.
Jeez. No, it was really good. I didn't know what I wanted or what it was supposed to be really going into it, but I liked it. I thought it turned out really good, and it was really simple. We talked about how simple it was.
It was just a father and daughter's relationship while she's going through this thing, and they give you glimpses of what they're dealing with outside of the real world. They give you get Arnold in the shot when he kills that one zombie thing, whatever you want to call it. And then you kind of get to see what they kind of look like when he's in the hospital and they're kind of decaying. So you're like, you get to see things she's going to end up going through.
Yeah, it's not like...
And now it's just watching them go through it.
It's not World War Z where they change in like 7 seconds or however long it was.
Yeah.
It's like it takes days or months before that.
Yeah, because she was just dealing with it for months.
Yeah.
So...
It's a very kind of tame zombie movie.
Yeah.
And the thought, though, of, like, slowly losing control is just scary. Like, you'll just not really know. You're just going through normal, sitting there reading a book, and then all of a sudden you want to hurt somebody. It's just... It's creepy.
That's someone you love.
And she did a great job, too.
Yeah. No, she did really good, and that's the first thing I've seen her since probably Zombieland, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
That I actually thought... The Call. Because we saw The Call. So The Call and Zombieland were probably the last two where I actually enjoyed her in something. Because she was in...
Loma Sunshine.
No, not Loma Sunshine. Well, she was in... I know she was in that. the one I'm thinking of. Ender's Game. She was in Ender's Game and was only in it for like 10 minutes, but they promoted her heavily.
Oh, really?
And she was only in it for a few minutes.
To do that.
Yeah. And she also, they were laughing because she made almost as much as Harrison Ford for the 10 minutes that she was in the movie.
Oh.
I was like, oh, poor Harrison Ford.
I'm sure with that Star Wars money.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sweating it. Yeah. Man, he should have got 20 more billion. Like, which
he'll be able to pay the cable bill.
Yeah.
His electricity won't.
Man, I've never really thought about how much money he probably has.
Yeah, dude, just from his likeness, even he could just lay in bed all day.
He's like what 6 movies in the top 10 or so.
All of the Indiana Jones,
all the Star Wars,
all the Star Wars. Well, 3 of the 6 or 4.
Well,
4 is it?
Yeah, he's done all
he's
right.
done all right.
Yeah,
he's done all right
for a carpenter.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. I heard that. Yeah,
for American Graffiti.
Damn, it's not bad.
Yep.
All right, so this next one is our last one that I guess we saw as a group. So do y'all want to skip to ones that we all have seen separate and then do that one last, or do you want to just get to it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right,
and do separate ones last.
Heard. All right, so Mad Max.
Fantastic.
Loved it.
I was surprised how much I loved it.
Yeah, Kaylin.
I think it was probably the best movie I've seen this year.
That's bold.
Yeah.
He wants me to say how I feel about it.
No, it's fine.
Honestly, I guess just the action movie type is not my cup of tea.
I understand.
That's all right.
Like, I didn't think it was a bad movie. Some of the effects were really cool, and for an action movie, it was really good. But it's just one long chase scene, and for me, there wasn't enough story.
Yeah.
Like, if the story was too simple, I wanted more to it than just a long chase scene.
I mean, Mad Max, I told her, because we were talking about it on the way home, and I told her, I was like, Mad Max, I thought was awesome. I thought it was great. I thought it was just a fun, blowing shit up, crazy people powdered up. You have Nicholas Hoult looking crazy. I mean, Tom Hardy did great.
Yeah.
He played.
It's all over the top.
It's over the top action, and but this is
real,
over. Yeah,
practical
it's practical.
Yeah, it looked really
over
good.
the top effects in an action movie that is good. Because you have all these action movies that come out in the past 10 years even. Because 10 years ago was 2005. So from 2005 to now, that was some shit action movies coming out.
This was hearkening back.
And I don't mean like when that's supposed to be horror that turns into action. I mean like legit, this is an action movie.
It's an action movie.
It was poo.
Yeah. It harkens back to like I love 80s action movies. Yeah. And just that they're just kind of fun.
They're kind of fun. Yeah, it's just fun to watch.
But they don't get much story. They don't. I mean, it's like mentioning Commando. His daughter's kidnapped. He goes to kill everybody.
Yeah. Like that's what it is. Story. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Charlize Theron steals his wives. He wants them back. Shit and
there you go.
That's what the movie is. So it's like there's not a lot of story.
It doesn't have to be all story. I felt like it wasn't enough. It was just one long thing of the same thing, and I got a little bored of it.
It relies on you being it relies on you being entertained from the explosions and just the over the top mess, and it was good. I liked it. I think it was awesome.
And I understand because there's some movies that I'll watch them and go, okay, that's all right, but that's not my thing.
Like, it wasn't awful. It's not like, oh, I'd never watch that again. It's just, it was one of those things. It's not really my type.
Well,
of
and
movie,
I did tell her, I was like, I told her I wanted. Well, what I told her was, I was like, I want us to see it not 3D, and maybe during the day, because it's we were both talking about how it's a little harder to see some movies that late. So
when they're that long and it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you're getting sleepy. Yeah. Plus, it's just a lot of loud noise. Because when you're tired, it's all loud noise. At Starla, when I lived with her and I had my bows in there, it was just loud noise. Because I heard.
It sounded like a helicopter.
Because I'm wide awake having fun.
Yeah.
And to her, it's just loud noise.
I was just texting, I think turn it down.
So I think during the day, not 3D, where your eyes can kind of focus on everything. Yeah. I think you would like it a little better. So. We'll try that again. Maybe when it gets to the dollar theater or something. And I know y'all will probably see it again. So
we've seen it twice.
I know y'all seen it twice. Yeah. So, well then never mind. But yeah, Mad Max, fun action. If you're not a fan of action movies, it's not going to be anything.
Yeah.
But the whole time I kept looking at her going, holy shit. Yeah. And she's just like, yeah. I'm like, Taylor.
Such a boy chase. Yeah. Getting all excited about all the explosions.
Man, yeah, it's Mad Max, we all agree. And it made really good money. I know Pitch Perfect, but Pitch Perfect beat it by like 1 million. But
more than that.
Was it more? No, I thought they were both in the 60s, right?
No. Pitch Perfect 2 was 70-something, and Mad Max was around 45, I think.
Wow. But for Mad Max being so specialized,
and it's R-rated. It's really hard for an R-rated movie to make a lot
Plus,
of money.
there's still plenty of word of mouth.
Oh yeah.
But Pitch Perfect is more people enjoy.
Everyone can see it.
Yeah.
With this one, you can take everybody to see
this
this movie because there was kids when we saw it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
They might not should have been.
I don't think they should have been. Like, my boss was telling me she took her daughter to see it, and she's like 10 or 11, and I'm like, I don't know if I would allow that with some of the language and humor.
Some things you might have to explain.
Yeah. But I'm proud that Mad Max didn't even make that much, and I think it'll still make more.
Yeah. And they're doing another
one. So clearly, I think the next one will do better, and I think this one will be one where the DVD and Blu-ray sales will be higher, will be big.
Yeah.
You know. So no, I think it's good. All right, so
it'll be a cult thing.
Yeah, it'll be a cult thing. Next is one that we saw, and that is True Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I talked about that one recently. We don't need to say a whole lot, probably, because we
won't say a lot about it. True Story.
Discussed it in the. Was that the last
guy
one?
kills? Yeah.
I think so.
Guy kills his family. Pretends to be somebody else. He wants to know why. Did he do it? There you go.
Yeah.
True story.
It is a true story.
It is a true
Jonah
story.
Hill and James Franco did really great.
Yeah.
It was a really good.
It's nice that they did a dramatic.
They did a dramatic movie. It was really good, and they both had problems dealing with the story. So, worth seeing if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Next one again we saw, y'all didn't, would be Wedding Ringer.
Yes.
It was actually funny. Really it was funnier than I think I expected it to be, because we wanted to just go see something. We were like, let's just go see something. And so we went and saw Wedding Ringer, and it was actually pretty funny.
Josh Gad is on The Comedians with
Crystal.
It's really funny.
It is funny.
He's a funny
He's all right.
Which is
he does good.
Yeah.
He's funny, man. And even Kevin Hart used to just anger me.
Yeah.
But in this one, he was pretty damn.
He does
funny.
good, but for those of you who don't know, it's just basically this guy who's getting married and he has no friends to be his best man, so he lies to his fiance and gets a guy. That's what he does.
He hires the guy who gets friends for him.
He gets best man for guys who don't have a lot of friends for weddings.
And it was pretty damn funny. Like, there's one part that where he gets tied up. It's his bachelor party. He ties him up. And he's pretended like some stripper's about to like start licking his balls or something like that. And then like a dog comes up.
Yeah, they blindfold him.
They move her and they blindfold him and they bring a dog up.
She wasn't really going to. Yeah. It was a trick the whole time.
So they're just messing with him. They bring a dog up and it bites down on his junk. And so he's freaking out. And so it just jumps to the next scene where they're all in the van. He's screaming. The dog's attached to him. Oh, and then and then they get pulled over. It was so funny. Oh my gosh.
He's a good endorsement for the movie.
It was funny, man.
They're all crazy.
No, it was better than I think I thought it was going to be. Okay, so Wedding Ringer. So y'all need to see. I know y'all aren't fans of Kevin Hart, but it was funny.
We'll definitely.
It'd be it's a fun one just to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
And there was lots of stuff in there where I go, Star Mike will like this. They won't admit it. Okay. Do you want to talk about y'all's?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, please.
Go.
Yeah, please.
I know at least one.
Yeah, we only have one that we differentiate with y'all on.
Okay.
And that would be the modern classic, 50 Shades of Grey.
See, y'all sigh, but I don't believe it. I don't believe the sighing.
Let me tell that I absolutely loved it. But not for the reasons I should have. I will say this, as a fan of Basic Instinct and Sliver, there's not much in the way of romantic interactions.
That doesn't surprise you. Basic Instinct is probably worse.
Well, and yeah, if you're talking about racy and seeing things that are
not meant to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey didn't show much. I saw a lot of Dakota, and that's fine. But I have all those parts, so show me something else. And they don't.
The best part about the movie is Straw leaving to go to the restroom, so I'm watching the end of the movie all by myself for like 20 minutes.
Wow. So I felt really bad.
That was fun.
I was creeping kind of.
So for 20 minutes, were you taking a shit?
No. I was there. I couldn't get back to my seat, so I was like standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
But
it was almost over, so she didn't want to walk in front of people as it was.
And they missed the
erotic ass slapping. I'm sure.
But I'll tell you the reason it's fantastic. First of all, the soundtrack's great.
No, the soundtrack is all over the radio, and that's the thing. I like the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is great. Good. It's got good music. No, I downloaded that right away. And the movie is great.
It right away.
No, I haven't bought it. I want to.
You haven't bought it?
I haven't bought it because I'm on buying lockdown because of my birthday.
Trust me, I won't buy that shit for you. I'm not gonna buy that garbage.
It was great because the chemistry was so awful, and the lines were so awful. It was such a train wreck. It made me so happy.
Hear the things that make her happy.
I
know. Sometimes it's fun to watch a bad.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the next one.
Why do you think you watch? I mean, as much as I love it, why do you think you watch New Year's Evil every year?
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
It's a bad movie, but we love watching it because it's a fun.
Secretly, this is how she feels about Street Trash too.
Yeah, and it's like when they threw that penis.
Man, that was just bad.
Yeah, that was bad. And Friday, Saturday the 14th was also really bad too.
But 50 Shades of Grey, if you want to see it for comedic purposes, it's really great.
For arousal.
I don't see how anybody saw that and thought it was hot or no.
And they're filming that second one right now too.
I felt very awkward for them because they seemed like they
hated it.
They didn't want to be
there. Did not want to touch each other.
They didn't.
It was really bad, but it's.
Caitlin, you kind of want to see it, don't you?
No.
and I was like, waiting. Where's the big risque? Where's risque? No, it really is like the Honest trailer said. They spend most of the time talking about the contract and negotiating and texting each other, and it's like, what am I watching?
I know you're watching a weird, office.
It's like a business transaction. Negotiation.
Yeah.
That turned into something erotic at the end.
Yeah. I don't see how so many people love the books or love the movie for that purpose.
Don't need to go to YouTube and watch Couch Tomato because they do this thing where they compare two movies and it's 24 reasons why they're the same movie, and it's pretty damn funny. And they had one where it was Twilight in this one, but it's because it's. Well, I mean, it is Twilight. Yeah. The girl who was a fan of Twilight, she loved the book, she loved the movie, she was obsessed with it. Wrote an erotic telling of, and she used Ella and Edward and stuff. Like she used to make Bella. I mean,
Ella.
Ella. Bella.
Ella and Bedward. That's what you say.
Ella and Bedward. Whatever their names are. She used.
I kind of like that better. I'm gonna write an erotic story with
you. How erotic of a story can you write with Ella and Bedward, Starla?
Oh, Bedward.
God. Well, either way, she used the real names, and then she went back and changed it to different people's names. So like
except for one twit.
Saying one twit. Yeah. Leaving one twit. But no, like they're both set in the same town. You know, it's a female who has a slappy car, or it's like a very sloppy car. It's a slappy car. I don't want to talk anymore.
That's his clown car that he keeps in the garage.
Screw you guys.
A
slappy car. I was hoping nobody would notice, but I was like, no, leave this group. No. Everyone noticed. The main girl's a brooding girl with a sloppy, ugly car who meets this very seductive dude who she kind of doesn't know anything about, but you're like, oh, you know.
It just wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah, who glows in the sunlight.
I feel bad. Who I really feel bad for is the 15-year-olds out there that snuck into it thinking, I'm going to see what things are like. No.
Yeah, because they walked out going, I could have typed this in on the internet or something.
Yeah. I feel very bad for them. They got a raw deal.
Yeah.
It's the kids out there I'm worried about.
The kids deserve better.
Yeah,
Jesus.
When the kids go out to see softcore porn, they should have more.
They deserve.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go out for office and be like, you kids deserve softcore porn.
Yeah.
You deserve the good stuff.
Yeah. This is embarrassing.
That's depressing. I feel kind of
bad. I can say that with confidence because I saw Basic Instinct for the first time at 15. And I'm like, holy cow, what is this? So,
like, holy shit.
You know, and then I saw 50 Shades of Grey and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, this is nothing.
This is, Sharon Stone does this on a Saturday.
No Sharon Stone.
Yeah, no Sharon Stone.
Alright, so. Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey, one day.
Was 50 Shades of Grey.
Maybe when it's like, when it's one of those $10 movies, we'll be like, you know what, let's just see it. Let's just do it. But I'm not gonna buy it for $20.
It's not a family-friendly movie.
No. No, that's for damn sure. Shit. Yeah. This next one's barely a family-friendly movie.
Uh-oh.
And that's SpongeBob. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. SpongeBob
gets
yellow.
Yeah. 50 Shades Yellow. SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water. It was good. It was pretty trippy. There was... Man, lots of... Because the people who did the season 1 through 3 of SpongeBob... Sorry, you got that. No, you know
I'm going to get Caitlin a buzzer.
No, you know
what? She can talk over us.
All right, no, sorry. All right, Caitlin, go
That's what I do.
No, I'll say my piece out. Go for it.
No, you go ahead.
the guys who did season 1 through 3 of SpongeBob, who made it more realistic, more adult, kid friendly, like it was for both, did this movie. He stopped after season 4, and that's why it kind of got more toned down and goofy instead of like more fun. And he used a lot of those visuals in it, and it was fun. I liked it.
I liked that it wasn't all live action. It makes it in the trailer like it's all going to be live action. Most of it was actually animated. So it was a lot like the cartoon, and I think that's something we both really liked about it. Was that
it wasn't live
that's
action
what turned me off to seeing it. Yeah. Because I was like,
no, it's only for about like 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah, they marked
the rest of it is all animated.
Okay.
So,
yeah, the last
I wish they would have played that.
The last like 15 minutes is when they get out, when they leave.
Yeah.
It's good.
But it was funny. So that's another one. All these will end up owning.
Is that one not out yet? When is that coming out?
Soon. Wedding Ringer just came out. We just bought American Sniper. We already owned Hobbit, so we'll eventually own this whole list. Okay, so after that one, Cinderella, the reimagining of the live action.
The
reimagining. This one was very good. I liked it.
It was good.
For Cinderella,
it's really good.
For a story you already know, it was great.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought visually it was really pretty.
Yeah.
I thought it like everything. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought that they had good actors in this one. They're not really people
Rob
you
Stark.
know.
Yeah, Rob Stark.
No, not everybody is someone you know really well. Let's kind of.
Yeah.
I think the two main people that everyone recognized was Rob Stark and then
what's the face?
Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the evil stepmother. So I mean, those.
But
two
other than that, you don't really know.
Yeah, and I think they kept it the same and changed just what they needed to, like a little, because with Cinderella it's been told so much, you kind of can't change a whole lot. But like even with Maleficent, it's like they try to keep it Sleeping Beauty but make it about Maleficent. This one was, they kept it the same. They didn't try to do some weird thing where it's like Cinderella and then they were just,
which is good because they would have angered some people advertising
but it's
Cinderella
and then showing like, it. Like she's in the background. And last but certainly not least, for all the Starlas out there, Pitch Perfect 2.
Woo!
That's another one we saw that Starla refuses to see.
This is my, like Mad Max is to Caitlin.
Hey,
you haven't seen it yet, though.
It's not my bag.
But you will see it.
But you have heard of it.
I've heard of it.
To each his own. You don't have to like it. But with Pitch Perfect 2, my things about it were, I think there were some jokes that didn't need to be there. There was characters that didn't need to be there. But the movie was good. It was solid. I liked the joke, like you said. I liked the jokes more than the first one. I think the first one was a better movie, but the jokes in this one were better. Because this one they didn't focus a whole lot.
So if the two had a baby, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, it'd be pitch
perfect.
Yeah, we did a review on it, and that's what I said. I think that the first one, the content of the movie is better, but the jokes were funnier in the second. Yeah. But there was also just as many jokes that they made that were racist. It was bad. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying.
Homeboy from, I can't remember his name, but Homeboy from the Dog Show movie. What am I talking about? Best in Show, yeah, I cannot. Yeah, Best in Show. That dude, he played the announcer in the first one. He was the announcer in this one too. But they gave them more to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should. And every time he talked, it was like very like sexist and like against women. Like everything.
They're the ones. Like everything they said.
Look at these girls. I thought they were only good for having babies, or look at them getting college degree, or something like that. Like that's all he would say.
Oh my God.
And so that was very awkward. And then like they introduced this new little Latina character who no backstory. All you go is this is so and so. And every time it showed her, she said something racist to Mexicans. So I'm like, huh?
It's like they're licensed.
So it's like, that's what they thought that would work, and it didn't. Yeah. But if you take that out of it, your complaints with Becca were completely changed. Because in the first one, she was just this bitch no one cared about.
Yeah.
And this one, she was pretty toned down. She was fine. Like she was really nice, and she didn't do a whole lot. This one, the story was
she got an attitude.
Because she got an attitude. John Cena. So basically, the whole story is it's set 3 years after the first one, and they're all seniors, and so they're wanting to do one big thing, and then something happens where they get kicked out. They're not allowed to do the competitions anymore, and they're all trying to figure out what they're going to do. How we're going to get this fixed? How we're going to get this fixed? And Becca's the only one trying to think of outside of college and life, and so she gets this internship at a
recording studio,
and so she's just trying to impress them. And they're trying to figure out how they can get back in the acapella thing, and so that's kind of their butting of heads throughout the whole movie. And then they find out there's this world acapella competition, which is goofy, but
That's the only way, basically, they can get back into doing it.
Captain Acapella.
Yeah. But they go to, it's set in, where, I can't remember where it's set. They say, and it was like this most random fucking place that you could think of. But like, they introduced this like new German group that they're going against. It's supposed to be really awesome, and they're pretty funny. They are funny. They're pretty funny.
And in one of the, they have like this competition, like a sing-off thing, and the Green Bay Packers are in it.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers played one of the acapella, and it was really the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was hilarious. And David Cross, I think that's his name.
So,
from
Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias. Yeah. He was in it, and his character was
from
Tobias. His character in it was pretty funny.
I love him.
Yeah, and I heard like they were gonna put a lot of fart jokes in there, and there really wasn't. I told her, I was like, a lot of people were like, they replaced these jokes for fart jokes, and I kept waiting
for the fart jokes, stay for the singing.
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking it was gonna be over the top, like fart, and they did one. They did one joke.
You need a soundbite of that.
Yeah, I know. Fart. They did one joke where it was like David Cross's character sends him this invitation to do a sing off at his house, and so they go in there and he opens the thing. And they're like, "What?" He's like, "What's the magic word?" She's like, "Fart noise," and he's like, "Didn't you notice the abbreviations are next to it? Yeah, parentheses or whatever." And he's like, so she goes like this and like blows on her arm. But that was like the only fart joke. Like everything else was just kind of like, And y'all's boy from the Comedy Central show, I can't remember his name.
Workaholics?
Yeah, he was in. I cannot remember the name of these shows. But he was in the first. He was in this one again, and his thing was really funny because like.
And he's in love with Fat Amy.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah, he admits he's in love with Fat Amy. And like, because the last time you saw him, he left to go join John Mayer. Yeah. And this one, he's like, oh yeah, now I'm on the waiting list to be on a popular singing competition. And it's just like he's like a security guard for their school because that's what he does now. It's bad.
That's sad.
It was sad, but it was so the characters I think were better. And it was funny because they kind of had like an inside joke where like they had two characters that were in the first one, and in this one they literally say nothing. And there's one part where they like try to get them to talk, and then someone interrupts. Like they're about to talk, and then someone interrupts, and they just kind of look at each other like whatever.
Because were they in the first one?
Yeah.
I thought they were new too.
No, they were in the first one. Yeah, they actually talked a few times in the first one. In this one, they don't say a word. So I mean, it is what it is. But it was good. I almost think you would like this one way more than the first one. I think you would watch it and be like, okay, if this one was the first one,
pretty good. You may love those racist jokes.
I know. Don't say Careful now. There's people listening to this. No. Yeah. We don't want to give Starla
No, you like things that are just out there that shock you.
Deep down, I was chuckling.
You may like it for being different.
I was chuckling a little on the inside. But in a room full of people you don't know, it's kind of awkward.
Careful.
We'll leave it at people you don't know.
A room full of women. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, so those are the movies, y'all. We feeling chuffed and ready to roll for the second half of the year.
Lots of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, I would say we'll have to do it at the end of the year as well. Those movies from
and some possibly mediocre stuff coming up, but we're gonna.
I know we got so we got Poltergeist on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing that. We'll obviously do a review, which I'm wanting you two to do a video review with us. God.
Well, we could also do a podcast later on that has to do with the movies.
Yeah.
So we'll do another one for movies
for the rest
that we
of the year,
didn't think we'd like. And we can say how we felt about them. Like, just say you started out, it's ones you don't think that you would like. And then we've seen them now, and this is what we think about them. And if Starla hates it, she can sit there and gripe about it the whole time.
Yes. We'll call it Starla Says. And it'll just be about the movie. Starla said this movie would be bad, but it was good.
Just in June, we got Insidious Chapter 3, too.
Yes. So. We got a lot of stuff.
I'm excited for that one.
Next week will be the episode where we discuss all this. But next week will be ones, from June to either, do you want to do the summer blockbuster or just the second half of the year?
Summer blockbusters.
Okay, so from June until
because there's so many really
June
great
to August
movies coming out over the summer.
So next week,
or really
everybody look at a list from June until August. Movie you're really looking forward to, and you want to do one you're not.
Yeah.
So movie you're not looking forward to, movie you are looking forward to for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
All right.
Feeling good?
Lots of cool stuff.
Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. So thank you guys for listening, everybody. Thank you for being here another week. You're just too good to me. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And after this video, I will be posting. Actually, this will be delayed a little bit, but we'll be uploading the unboxing of American Sniper. So awesome.
Nice.
So thank you guys. We'll see you in the next week. Bye.
Bye.